Hi, dear students. Hope you would be fine. In our previous talk, we have been studying about the grammar, the importance of grammar, and different parts of speech as well. We have talked about the very introductory session of the grammar. Today, we would be talking about the kinds of grammar. Our next question, which is included in our syllabus, is that of the kinds of grammar. So, majorly, English grammar is divided into two kinds of grammar. One is considered as the prescriptive grammar, and other is called as the descriptive grammar. Today, majorly, we would be talking about the difference, advantages, and disadvantages about the prescriptive grammar and descriptive grammar. So first we discuss the definition of these uh, prescriptive grammar and descriptive grammar. Then we would be talking with the examples, and by the end we would be dealing with the question of your understanding. So majorly there are two types: prescriptive grammar and descriptive grammar. Prescriptive grammar is the traditional approach of grammar that tells the people how to. uh, for your understanding, just in a very simple words, I may explain you. As you know, we come go to the doctor and we say, please prescribe the medicine. He just write down medicine on the paper, and then we get that medicine. That's called the prescription. What is designed, what is written, means the language in its grammar, in its formal sense. Grammar in its ideal form is called the prescriptive grammar. Means the rules are defined and they are formal, and we have to follow those rules in their strict sense. So this is called the prescription. Means all the language rules, English language rules, what form they should utilize. Means there is also intention that they should be utilized in this way, and what functions they should serve. Prescriptive grammar is essential as it helps us use formal speech and writing. Means the language written in its grammar. uh, if there is a book of grammar, that would be the descriptive grammar. But when we would be using that language in actual situation, it's not compulsorily that we should have to follow, and every speaker would be following those prescribed rules. So the ideal forms are the ideal rules of grammar are called prescriptive, while the language used in its situation mean in actual situation, in actual social situation. uh, for your understanding, I may recall for you, there are books in the market which claim that learn the spoken English within 7 days, within 1 month, learn the spoken English like fur in 7 days, even in a 1 day, even in a. There was a book which was claiming that learn the English fluency within 3 hours. Is it possible? I asked you the question, is it possible that can a man learn or can be a very fluent in the grammar within just 3 hours? It's not possible. So all these are prescribed rules are not practiced in actual social situation. So but uh, uh, now you may ask me the question, then why prescriptive grammar is necessary. Prescriptive grammar is basically a very referential system where those actual situation may move. They are basically like the rules. For example, this is a rule that everyone should offer prayer 5 times a day. This is a prescribed rule. But in actual situation, every Muslim or if we talk about the other religions, what is prescribed by the other religions is not practiced in its real sense in actual situation according to those prescribed rules. But it never means that if those rules are not practiced in the society, It never means that those rules should not exist in their physical in their book form as well. So in addition, those who follow it and those who endure others to follow it claim that doing so will help the streamline one words and make one's prose more elegant. For example, uh, even in my conversation, uh, as I am the lecturer of English and you are the student of English, uh, um, at most of the times, at the most of the situation, I might not be following even the grammatical rules of present indefinite as well. But it never means if I am not practicing those talks in my talk, but I am supposed to be well aware of those grammatical rules. I am supposed to be well aware of the 12 tenses. I am supposed to be well aware of those parts of speech. I am supposed to be well aware of active voice, passive voice, direct and indirect. So these are basically uh, the prescription and prescribed rules. Uh, so in English, less goes with mass nouns means less money, fewer. Like we use that we used to talk about the a few, the few, and few. But it's not compulsorily that we should practice those rules in our descriptive grammar as well. So the language which more talks about the prescribed rules is called the prescriptive grammar, and the language which talks about grammar which talks about the language in its real situation, in its social situation, is called as the descriptive grammar. So descriptive grammar basically talks about how the native speakers actually talk and write, and it has no concrete idea of the way it should be structured, and it is not saying how it should be used. However, it focuses on describing the English language as it is used. For example, we in a linguistic form we say, "Hi, how are you?" This is a formal sentence. But when a native speaker would be saying, he would be saying like this, "Hiya." He does not say, "How are you?" He say, "Hiya." So language in its formal sense, in its formal way, is the different one, and language in its actual social situation is the different one as well. A descriptive grammarian see the language in its actual social situation. Some native speaker says, "I am younger than him." They don't say, well, the actual sentence is like that: "I am younger than he." For example, he granted in American University, he graduated American University, while the actual is of he graduated from the American University. So he graduated American University does not give sense in the formal situation of the language, but uh, in its social situation, it is conveying the meaning, and uh, it does not need that from or the preposition as well. And now we come to the advantages and disadvantages of the grammar. Prescriptive and descriptive grammar. Basically, prescriptive grammar is used for teaching the language to our toddlers. Teaching prescriptive grammar creates the formal writer and the sources. It basically saves the language from degenerating, from changing. As you know that language keeps on changing. So grammar are basically those standard rules which keep the language to their sanctity, dignity, all that grace of the language. And teaching prescriptive grammar is beneficial for both native and non-native learners. I might have been concerned with this question that those who are basically the native speaker of that language. For example, I might have been thinking that you might have been thinking that the English people does not need to study English language and the grammatical rules. So it's very strange. Even the English people study the English language and its grammar as we study the grammar of our Urdu language or of our native language. Teaching of prescriptive grammar is both beneficial for the native and non-native speaker, and then prescriptive grammar might keep non-native speakers wondering or confused when they talk about the native speakers, as they might realize that one's natives do not write or speak in their own rules. And then descriptive grammar's advantages and disadvantages are those that descriptive grammar approach improves non-native speakers' pronunciation as well and helps them sound like the native speaker. This is very much important. For example, as I have been to the England, uh, uh, before going to England, I was more formal with my grammatical rules, and I used to focus on the grammatical rules. But when I mixed with those native speakers, they were not. And in the very start, they have been very wondering about myself. He was saying, my friend was saying that you are more concerned with the grammar. You speak pure English, pure grammatical formal English. So it gives the advantage to a non-native speaker over the uh, a native speaker as well. And then descriptive grammar helps the learners to understand the applied usage of the language and communicator better with the native speakers. And descriptive grammar approach is sometimes not used in our formal settings as in our exam and the speech. uh, in our exam and speech, the prescriptive grammar is tested whether this man or the woman is having the knowledge of grammar or not. So, by moving to our before moving to our question answer session, Anaya Sethi is with us from India. Anaya, we welcome you over here. Uh, we are also in your group as well. I'm very much uh, thankful to that you are serving a lot to the community of the students. You yourself are a good learner. So nice to see you over here. And more my other students who are over here, if you have any question or confusion about the prescriptive grammar and the descriptive grammar, you may ask me the question, while meanwhile I conclude my lecture of today. uh, Today we have talked about kinds of grammar, prescriptive grammar, and descriptive grammar. Prescriptive grammars are the standard and the formal rules of the language, while descriptive language is the language in its use. uh, Both prescriptive grammar and descriptive grammar are very much beneficial and of great value for the speakers, for the learners of the language. With this, I think goodbye. If you have any question, you may write over here. You may write your attendance as well by writing yes in the answer section as well. Only three people right now. Three people are with us. Ashad Khan. Your complete name is what? Ali Sultan, yes. Ashad Khan. What's your complete name? Shoaib Khan is there. Ishaq Sahil is here. Mubashir Hussain is here. Anyone else? So if you have any question, you may write over here. Hania Khan is here. So I think everything is okay with you, and we would be meeting very soon in our next session. With this, goodbye.